I,
Please, some,
try all, both joy and terror,
of good and bad,
that makes and unfolds error.
Now take upon me,
in the name of time,
to use my wings,
imputing it not a crime, to me or my swift passage that I slide over 16 years. And leave the growth untried of that wide gap,
Since it is in my power to overthrow law,
and in one self-born hour to plant an overwhelmed custom.
Let me cast the same I am.
Hear ancient order was,
or what is now received.
eyewitness to the times that brought them in.
So shall I do to the precious things now reigning.
And make stale the glistering of this present, as our tale now seems to end.
Your patience disallowing,
I turn my glass and give my scene such growing as you have slept between. Leontes leaving, the effect of his fond jealousy so grieving that he shuts up himself.
Imagine me,
Gentle spectators,
that I now may be in fair Bohemia. And remember well, I mentioned the son of a king,
which Florizel
I now name to you,
and with speed so paced to speak of Perdita, now grown in grace, equal with wandering.
what
What of her ensues, I list not prophesy.
but let time's news be known when 'tis brought forth. A shepherd's daughter, and what to her adheres, which follows after,
Is the argument of time.
of this allow, if ever you have spent time worse ere now, if never, yet that time himself doth say, he wishes earnestly, you never may.
I pray you, good Camillo, be no more importunate. 'Tis a sickness to deny thee anything, a death to grant this.
Sir, it is 15 years since I saw my country. Though I have for most part been erred abroad, I desire yet to lay my bones there. Besides, the penitent king, my master, has sent for me, to whose feeling of sorrow I might be Samalay, or I overween to think so, which is another spur for my departure.
As thou lovest me, Camillo, wipe not out the rest of thy services by leaving me now. Of that fatal country, Sicilia, prithee speak no more, whose very naming punishes me with the remembrance of that penitent, as thou callest him, and reconciled king, my brother, whose loss of his most precious queen and children are even now to be afresh lamented. Say to me, when sawest thou the Prince Florizel, my son? Kings are no less unhappy, their issue in not being gracious, than they are in losing them when they have approved their virtues.
Sir, I think it is 3 days since I saw the prince. What his happier affairs may be are to me unknown. But I have missingly noted that he is of late much retired from the court and less frequent to his princely exercises than formerly he has appeared.
I have considered so much, Camillo, and with some care, so far I have eyes under my service which look upon his removedness, from whom I have this intelligence, that he is seldom from the place of a most homely shepherd, a man, they say, from very nothing and beyond the imagination of his neighbours, is grown into an unspeakable estate.
I have heard, sir, of such a man, who has a daughter of most rare note. The reports on her extend much more than can be thought to begin with such a cottage.
That's likewise part of my intelligence, but I fear the anger which plucks her son thither. thou shalt accompany us to the place where we will, not appearing what we are, have some question with the shepherd, from whose simplicity I feel it not uneasy to get the cause of our son's resort thither. Prithee, be my present partner in this business, and lay aside the thoughts of Cecilia.
I willingly obey your command.
My best Camillo, we must disguise ourselves.
When daffodils begin to appear, we pay the doxy over the dale. Why then comes in the sweet of the year, for the red blood reigns in the Winters Tale. The white sheep bleaching on the hedge for hay, the sweet birds, oh how they sing. Doth set my pug in tooth and edge, for a quart of ale is a dish for a king. I have served Prince Florizel, and in my time wore 3 pile. But now I'm out of service. But shall I go mourn for that, my dear? The pale moon shines by night. Oh, when I wander here and there, I then do most go right. My father named me Autolycus, who, being as I am littered under Mercury, was likewise a snapper up of unconsidered trifles. With dye and drab, I purchased this comparison, and my revenue is the silly cheat. Gallows and knock are too powerful on the highway, and beating and hanging are terrors to me. For the life to come, I'll sleep out the thought of it. Oh, a prize, a prize!
Let me see. Every 11 weather tods, every tod you've pounded on shilling, 1,500 shorn. What comes of wool to?
If the spring's old, the cock's mine.
Cannot do without counters. Now what am I to buy for our sheep shearing feast? 3 pounds of sugar, 4 pounds of currants, rice. What does this sister of mine want to do with rice? Mind you, my father had made her mistress of the feast and she lays it on. She hath made me 4 and 20 nosegays for the shearers, 3-man song and all, and very good ones. But most of them are means and bases, except for one Puritan who sings psalms to hornpipes. I must have saffron to colour the warden pies. May states, that's out of my note. Nutmeg 7, a race or 2 of ginger, 4 pounds of currants, 3 pounds of prunes, and as many raisins of the sun.
Oh, that ever I was born!
Name of me.
Oh, pluck off these rags and then death!
Lad, poor soul. There was need of more rags to lay on thee rather than have these off.
Oh, good sir, the loathsomeness of them offend me more than the stripes I have received, which are, mighty ones and millions.
Oh, alack, poor soul. 1,000,000 of beatings may come to a great matter.
I am robbed, sir, and beaten, and these, my money and a pound taken from me, and these detestable things put upon me.
What, by a horseman or a
A
footman?
footman, sweet sir, a footman. Oh,
He should be a footman by the garments he hath left on thee. If this be a horseman's coat, he'll seem very off service. Come, lend me thy hand, I'll have thee. Come, lend me a hand.
softly, good sir, softly.
Alack, poor soul.
Oh, tenderly, sir, I fear my shoulder blade is out.
How now, Constance?
Softly, good sir, softly. You had done me a charitable office.
Just don't lack any money, I have a little money for thee.
No, confessor, no, sweet sir. I have a kinsman, not past a mile hence, unto whom I was going. I shall there have money, or anything I wish. Offer me no money, I pray you. That kills my heart.
Oh, what manner of fellow is he that robbed you?
Fellow sir, I am known to go about with Tron, my dames. I knew at once a servant of the prince. I cannot tell for which of his virtues it was, but he was certainly whipped out of the court.
His vices, you might say. There's no virtue whipped out of court. They cherish it to make it stay there, yet it will but no more abide.
Vices, I would say, sir. I know this man well. He hath been since an 8-bearer, a process server, a bailiff, and then encompassed a motion of the prodigal son, and then he's married a tinker's wife, within a mile of where my land and living lies, and having sailed over many knavish professions, he settled only in road. Some call him Autolycus.
Out upon him! Brig upon my life! He haunts, wakes, fairs, and bear beatings.
Yes, sir, he's the man who put me into this apparel.
Not a more cowardly rogue in all Bohemia. You'd look big and spat at him, he'd have run.
Good sir, I am no fighter. I am false of heart that way, and that in you I warrant him.
Just so know.
Good sir, much better than I was. I can stand and walk. I will take my leave of you and pace softly towards my kinsman.
Shall I bring thee on thy way?
Oh no, good face sir, no, sweet sir.
Oh, fairly well. I must go buy Saispies for our sheep sharing.
I'll prosper you, sweet sir. Your purse is not hot enough to purchase your spice. I'll be with you at your sheep shearing too. I'll make not this tree, bring out another, and the shearers prove sheep. Let me be unrolled, and my name put in the book of virtue. Jog on, the foot pathway, and merrily hit the soil. Jog on, the foot pathway.
These your unusual weeds to each part of you does give a life. No shepherdess, but Flora peering in April's front. This, your sheep shearing, is as a meeting of the petty gods, and you, the queen of.
Sir, my gracious lord, to chide at your extremes it not becomes me. Pardon that I name them. Your high self, most gracious mark of the land, have obscured with swains wearing. And me, poor lowly maid, most goddess-like pranked up, that our feasts in every mess have folly, and our feeders digest it with a custom. I should blush to see you so tired. Swoon, I think, to show myself a glass.
I bless the time when my good falcon made her flight across thy father's ground.
Now, Jove, before due cause, to me the difference forges dread. Your greatness hath not been used to fear. Even now I tremble to think that your father, by some accident, should pass this way as you did. Oh, the fates! How would he look to see his work so noble, vilely bound up? What would he say? And how should I, in these my borrowed flaunts, behold the sternness of his presence?
Now, dearest Perdita, with these forcive thoughts I prithee, darken not the mirth of the feast. For I'll be thine, my fair, nor not my father's, for I cannot be mine own, nor anything to any if I be not thine. To this I am most constant, though merry say no. To be merry, gentle, strangle such thoughts as these with anything you behold the way. The guest to come, lift up your countenance as it were the day of celebration of that night which we two have sworn shall come.
Oh, Lady Fortune, stand you auspicious.
See, your guest approach. Address yourself to entertain them sprightly, and let's be read with mirth.
Fine, daughter, you are retired as if you were the feasted one and not the hostess of the meeting. Pray you bid these our unknown friends to us welcome, for it is a way to make them more friends, better known. Come, quench your blushes, present yourself that which you are, the mistress of the feast. Come on, bid us welcome to your sheep shearing as your good flock shall prosper.
Welcome, sir. It is my father's will I should take on me the hostessship of the day. Sir, you're welcome. Give me those flowers there, please. Reverend sirs, for you there's rosemary and rue. These keep seeming and savour all winter long. Grace and remembrance be to you both, and welcome to our shearing.
Shepherdess, a fair one are you? Well, you fit our ages with flowers of winter.
Sir, the year growing ancient, not yet on summer's death, nor on the birth of trembling winter, the fairest flowers of the season are carnations and street gillyflowers, which some call nature's bastards. Of that kind, our rustic garden is barren, and I cannot get it.
Wherefore, gentle maiden, do you neglect them?
For I have heard it said there is an art in which their piedness shares with great creative nature.
You see, sweet maid, we marry a gentler science to the wildest stock, and make her seem a bark of basic kind by blood of nobler race. The art itself does mend nature, change it rather, but the art itself is nature.
So it is.
Then make your garden rich in gillibles, and do not call them bastards.
I'll not put the dibbling earth to set one slip of them. No more than what I painted, I would wish this youth should say to a well, and only, therefore, desire to breed by me. His flowers for you. Hot lavender, savoury, mints, marjoram. The marigold that goes to bed with the sun and with him rises weeping. These are the flowers of middle summer. And I think they are given to men of middle age. You're very welcome.
I should leave grazing, whereof your flock, and live by glazing.
And alas, you'd be so lean that blasts of January would blow you through and through. Now, my fairest friend, I would I had some flowers of the spring that might become your time of day. And yours, that wear upon your virgin branches, yet your maidenhead's growing. Bold oxlips, the crown imperial, lilies of all kinds, the flower Toulouse included. All these I lack to make you garlands of, and my sweet friend to strew him o'er and o'er.
What, like a course?
No, like a bank for love to lie and play on. Not like a course or if, not to be buried, but quick and in mine arms. Come, take your flowers. Methinks I play as I have seen them do in Whitsun pastorals. Sure, this robe of mine has changed my disposition.
What you do still betters what is done. When you speak sweet, I'd have you do it ever. When you do dance, I wish you away by the sea. They might ever do nothing but that. Move still so own no other function. Each you're doing is so singular in each particular, does crown what you are doing in the present tense. That's all your acts are.
Oh, Doricles, your praises are too large, but that your youth and the true blood that does peep fairly through it do plainly give you out an unstained shepherd. With wisdom, I might fear my Doricles. You wooed me the false way.
I think you have as little skill to fear as I have purpose to put you to it. But come, our dance, I pray. Your hand, my purse, are so turtle's pair that never meet to part.
I'll swear for it.
This is the prettiest bow-born lass that ever ran the greasewood. Nothing she does or seems but smacks of something greater than herself. Too noble for this place.
I think he tells her something that makes her blood look out. Good sooth, she's the queen of curd and cream.
Come on, strike up.
What's this for your mistress? Larry, darling, let's a kissing wrist.
Not to wait more, we stand upon the manners. Come on, strike up.
I pray you, good shepherd, what fair swain is this which dances with your daughter?
They call him Doricles, and boasts himself a worthy feeding. I have it upon his own report, and I do believe it. He looks like Sue. He says he loves my daughter. I think he does, for never gaze moon upon the water as he doth stand and read as 'twere my daughter's eyes. And, to be plain, there is not half a kiss to choose who loves another face.
She dances featly.
glasses and 4 noses. Beautiful bracelet, necklace and perfume for a lady chamber. Golden boy, sandstorm, curse to give their dears, pins and pokers. Sticks of steel, what a made flex from a head to a heel. Come by, my lads, or else your lass is dry. Come by, come by.
If I was not so much in love with Mopser, thou shalt take no money off me, but being enthralled as I am, thou shalt be in bondage to certain ribbons and gloves.
Oh, he was promised them against the feast, but they come not too late now.
He hath promised you more than that, or they'll be liars.
He hath paid you all he hath promised you. Maybe he hath paid you more, which would shame you to give him again.
There is no manner left amongst maids. Should they wear their plackets where they should bear their faces? Is there not milking time before they go into bed, or kiln hall, where they can whistle these secrets, that they have to be tittle-tattling before our guests? 'Tis while they are whispering, clamber your tongues and not a word more.
I have done. Come, you promised me a tawdry lace and a pair of sweet gloves.
Did I not tell you I was cozened on the way and lost all my money?
And indeed, sir, there are customers abroad, therefore it behoves men to be wary.
Fear not thou, man, thou shalt lose nothing here.
I hope not so, sir, for I have about me many parcels of charge.
Oh, so they're ballots.
Oh, pray you now, boy, son. I love a ballad in a printer line, but then we are sure they are true.
Here's one to a very doleful tune of our usurer's wife was brought to bed in 40 money bags at a burden, along to eat anna's heads and toads. Carbonado.
Be it true, thank you.
Very true. I've got him up bold.
Bless me for marrying a usurer.
Here's the midwife's name to it. One Mistress Tail Porter, 5 or 6 honest wives that were present. Why should I carry lies abroad?
Pray you now, boy,
Come, lay it by. We'll have the first one in on. Let's see some more ballads.
Here's another of a fish that appeared upon the coast on Wednesday the 4th of April, 40,000 fathoms above water, and sung this ballad against the hard hearts of maids. 'Twas thought she was a maid who was turned into a fish. She would not exchange flesh with one that loved her. The ballad is very pitiful, and that's true.
Is it true too, think you?
Why, justices answer it, and witnesses more than my pack will hold.
Lay it by, let's see another.
Here's a merry one, but a pretty
Oh,
one.
let's have some merry ones.
This is a passing merry one, and goes to the tune of 2 maids wooing a man. It is in request, I can tell you, scarce a maid westward, but she sings it.
We can both sing it. If thou'll bear a part, thou shalt sing. 'Tis in 3 parts.
We had the tune on 2 months ago.
Well, I can bear my part, you must know. It is my occupation. Go at it with you. Get you hence, for I must go where it fits not you to know.
Oh, if it becomes thy own full well, thou to me thy secrets tell.
Me to let me go thither.
Or thou goes to the grange or the mill.
If to whither thou dost ill.
Neither.
What neither? What
Neither.
Thou hast sworn thy love to me.
Thou hast sworn it more to me than whither goeth.
Say whither.
We'll have this first song out ourselves anon. My father and the gentleman are in sad talk and will not trouble them. Come, bring thy pack after me. Wenches, I'll buy for you both. Pedlar, we'll have the first choice. Come, follow me, girls.
And you shall pay well for 'em. Will you buy any take or names for your cake? Why don't you duck, my dear? Any silk, any thread, any choice for your head, but the newest and finest wear. Come to the peddler, money's a medlar, and the butter all men wear.
Is it not too far gone? It is time to part them. He's simple and tells much. How now, fair shepherd? Your mind seems full of something which doth take your mind from feasting. Sooth, When I was young and handed love as you do, I would want to load my she-wood next. I would have ransacked the peddler's silken treasury and have poured it to her acceptance. You've let him go, and nothing matters to him.
Old sir, I know she prizes not such trifles as these are. The gifts she looks for me are packed and locked up in my heart, which I've given already but not delivered. Oh, hear me breathe my life before this ancient sir, whom it should seem hath sometime loved. I take thy hand. This hand as soft as dove's down and white as it, or Ethiopian's too, nor the fan snow that's bolted by the northern blast, twice over.
What follows this? How prettily the young swain seems to wash the hand that's fair before. I have put you out, but to your protestations, let me hear what you profess.
Do and be witness to it.
And this my neighbour too.
And he, and more than he, and men, the earth, the heavens and all, that were I crowned the most imperial monarch, thereof most worthy, were I the fairest youth that ever made I swear, had force and knowledge more than was ever man's, I would not prize them without her love. For her employ them all, commend them and condemn them to her service, or to their own perdition.
Fairly offered.
This shows strong affection.
But my daughters, say you the like to him?
I cannot speak so well, nothing so well, no, nor mean better. By the pattern of mine own thoughts, I cut out the purity of his.
Take hands, a bargain, and friends unknown, you shall bear witness to it. I give my daughter to him, and will make her portion equal his.
No, that must be the virtue of your daughter. One being dead, I shall have more than you can dream of yet. Enough then for your one. But come on, contract us for these witnesses.
Come your hand, and daughter yours.
Soft, swain awhile, beseech you.
He neither does nor shall.
Methinks a father is at the nuptial of his son, a guest at best becomes the table. I pray you once more, is not your father grown incapable of reasonable affairs? Is he not stupid with age and altering reams? Can he speak here? No man for man, dispute his own estate. Lies he not bedridden, and again does nothing but what he did, being childish?
No, good sir. He has his health, and ampler strength indeed than most have of his age.
By my age bed, if this be so, you offer him a wrong, something unfilial. Reason, my son, should choose himself a wife, but as good reason the father, all whose joy is nothing else but fair posterity, should hold some counsel in such a business.
I yield all this, but for some other reasons, my grave sir, which does not fit you know, I not acquaint my father of this business.
Let him know it.
He shall not. Let him.
Prithee.
Sorry.
Prithee, let him.
No, you must not.
Let him, my son, he shall not need to grieve at knowing of thy choice.
Come, you must not. Mark our contract.
Mark your divorce, young sir, whose son I dare not call. Thou art too base to be acknowledged. Thou art a scepter's heir, that first affection she took. Thou traitor, I'm sorry, by hanging thee, I can much shorten thy life 1 week. Thou, fresh piece of excellent witchcraft, who of course must know the roll fall that thou can't break.
Oh, my heart.
I love thy beauty, scratched with briars, and made more holy than thy state. For thee, fond boy, if I may ever know, thou dost but sigh that thou no more shalt see this night, as never thou shalt. Will bar thee from succession, not hold thee of our blood, no, not our kin, far from the killing off. Mark thou my words. Follow us to the court. Thou shalt for this time, though full of our displeasure, will free thee from the dead blow of it. And you, enchantment worthy enough a husband, yea him too, which makes him, but for our honour therein, unworthy thee. Ever henceforth, thou will latches to his entrance open, or hook his body more with thy embraces. I'll devise a death as cruel for thee as thou art in the dead.
Even here undone. I was not much afeard, for once or twice I almost spoke and told him plainly. The self-same sun that shines upon his court hides not the visage of our cottage. But looks on alike. Wilt you, please, sir, be gone? I told you what would come of this. Beseech you of your own state take care. This dream of mine, being now awake, I'll queen it no inch further. But milk my ewes. Weep.
Oh, now, father, speak ere thou diest.
I cannot speak, nor think, nor dare to know that which I know. Oh, sir, you have undone a man of 63 that thought to fill his grave in quiet, yea, to die upon the bed my father died, and to lie close by his honest bones. But now, some hangman will put me in a shroud and lay me where no priest shovels in dust. Oh, cursed wretch, thou knewst this was the prince, yet wouldst thou venture to mingle faith with him? Undone, undone! If I must die within the hour, I shall have lived to die when I desire.
Why look you so upon me? I am but sorry, not afeard. Delayed, but nothing altered. What I was, I am. More straining on for plucking back, and not following my leash unwillingly.
Gracious my lord, you know your father's temper. At this time he will allow no speech, which I do guess you do not purpose to him, and as hardly will endure your sight as yet, I fear. Then, till the fury of his highness settle, come not before him.
Why not purpose it? I think Camilla?
Even he, my lord.
How often have I told you 'twould be thus? How often said my dignity would last, but till 'twere known?
It cannot fail but by the violation of my faith. And then let nature crush the sides of the earth together and mar the seeds within. Lift up thy looks. From my succession wipe me, father. I am heir to my affection.
Be advised.
I am, and by my fancy. If my reason will dare to be obedient, I have reason. If not, my senses, better pleased with madness, do bid it welcome.
This is desperate, sir.
So call it, but it does fulfill my vow. I need must think it honesty. Camilla, not for Bohemia, nor the pomp that may be thereat gleamed. For all the sun seas or the close earth wombs, nor the profound seas heights and unknown fathoms, will I break my oath. To this, my fair beloved. Therefore, I pray you, as you've ever been my father's honoured friend, when he shall miss me, as in faith I mean not to see him any more, and cast your good counsels upon his passion, let myself and fortune tug for the time to come. This you may know, and so deliver. I am put to sea with her who here I cannot hold on shore, and most opportune to when he'd have a vessel rides fast by, but not prepared for this design. What course I mean to hold shall nothing benefit your knowledge, nor concern me the reporting.
My lord, I would your spirit were easier for advice, or stronger for your need.
Ah, Perdita, I'll hear you by and by.
He is irremovable, resolved for flight. Now, were I happy if his goings I can frame to serve my turn. Save him from danger, do him love and honour, purchase the sight again of dear Cecilia, and that unhappy king, my master, whom I so much thirst to see.
Now, good Camillo, I am so fraught with curious business that I leave out ceremony.
Sir, I think you have heard of my poor services in the love I've borne to your father. Well, my lord, if you may please to think, I love the king, and through him what is nearest to him, which is your gracious son. Embrace but my directions. If your more ponderous or settled project may suffer alteration, on my honour, I shall point you to where you have such receiving as shall become your highness, where you may enjoy your mistress, from the whom I can see no disjunction can be made but by heaven forfend your ruin. Marry her, and with my best endeavors in your absence, your discontenting father strive to qualify and bring him up to liking.
How, Camillo, may this almost a miracle be done?
Have you thought of a place whither to you'll go?
Not any yet.
Well, then listen to me. If you will not change your purpose, make for Sicily. There, present yourself and your fair princess, for so I see she must be, before Leontes. Methinks I see Leontes opening his free arms and weeping his welcomes forth, asking thee, the son, forgiveness, as if it were the father in person, kissing the hands of your fresh princess, and over divides betwixt his unkindness and kindness the one he chides to hell, and bids the other to grow faster than thought or time.
Worthy Camillo, what colour for my visitation shall I hold up before him?
Sent by the king, your father, to greet him and give him comfort. Sir, in the manner of your bearing towards him, with what you, as from your father, shall deliver things known betwixt us three, I shall write you down, the which will point you forth at every sitting to what you must say, that he shall not perceive, but that you have your father's bosom there, and speak his very heart.
I am bound to, there is some sapience.
A course more promising than a wild dedication of yourself to unpathed water, undreamed shore, was certain to misery enough. No hope to help you.
But oh, the thorns we stand upon. Camillo, a preserver of my father, now of me, the medicine of our house, how shall we do? We are not furnished like Bohemia's son, nor shall appear in Sicilia.
My lord, think none of this. I think you know my fortunes do all lie there. It shall be so my care to have you royally appointed, as if the scene you played were mine. For instance, sir, that you shall know you may not want one word.
What a fool honesty is! And trust his sworn brother, a very simple gentleman. I have sold all my trumpery. Not a counterfeit stone, not a ribbon, glass, pomander, brooch, knife, table book, horn ring to keep my pack from fasting. They all thronged to me as who should buy first, as if my trinkets had been hallowed and brought a benediction to the buyer. By which means I saw whose purse was best in picture, and what I saw, to my good use I remembered. For in this time of lethargy, I picked and cut most of their festival purses, and had not the old gentleman come in with an hubbub about his daughter and the king's son, scared my trust from the chaff, I'd not left a purse alive in the whole army.
Nay, but my letters, this means being there so soon as you arrive, shall clear that doubt.
And those that you procured from King Leontes
shall satisfy your father.
Happy be you. All that you speak shows fair.
Who have we here? We must make an instrument of this. Omit nothing may give you 8.
If they've overheard me now, why, hanging!
How now, good fellow? Why shakest thou so? Fear not, men, here no one means any harm to thee.
I'm a poor fellow, sir.
Be so still, no one will steal that from thee. Yet, for the outside of thy poverty, we must make exchange. Therefore, discase thee instantly. Thou should think there is a necessity in it, and change your garments with this gentleman. Though the pennyworth on his side be the worst, yet, hold thee, there is some boot.
I'm a poor fellow, sir. I smell the trick, aunt.
Prithee, dispatch the gentleman is half late already.
Are you in earnest, sir? I know thee well enough.
Dispatch, I prithee.
Indeed, sir, I've had earnest, but I cannot in ill conscience take it.
Unbuckle, unbuckle. Unfortunate mistress, let my prophecy come to you. You must retire into some covert, Take your sweetheart's hat and plug it over your brow. Muffle your face. Dismantle you, and as you can disliken the truth of your own seeming, so that you may, for I do fear eyes over, to shipboard get undescribed.
I see the place so lies that I must bear part.
No remedy. Have you done there?
Should my father now meet me, he would not call me son.
Nay, you shall have no hat. Come, lady, come. Farewell, friend.
Adieu, sir.
No, Perdita, what have we twain forgot? Pray you, a word.
What I do next shall be to tell the king about this escape, and whither to they're bound, wherein my hope is to so prevail to force him after, in whose company to review Sicilia, for whose sight I have a woman's longing.
Fortune speed us. Thus we set on, Camillo, to the seaside.
The speedier speed, the better.
I understand the business. I hear it. I think this is the time the unjust man doth thrive. Aside, more matter for a hot brain. Every shop, church, sessions, hanging yields a careful man work.
See what her man you are know. There's no other way but to tell the king she's a changeling, and none of your flesh and blood.
Oh, nay, but hear me.
Nay, but hear me.
Oh, go to then.
She being none of your flesh and blood, your flesh and blood has not offended the king, therefore your flesh and blood should not be punished by him. Show those things you found out about her, those secret things, all but what she has with her. This being done, let the Lord go whistle, I warn you.
Very wisely, puppies.
Well, let us to the king. There is that in this fardel that will make him scratch his beard.
I know not what impediment this may be to the flight of my master.
Free Hartley be at palace.
No, I'm not naturally honest. I'm so sometimes by chance. Let me pocket up my pillar's excrement. How now, rustics, whither are you bound?
Oh, to palace then, and like your worship.
Your affairs are what, with whom, the condition hath fallen, the place of your dwelling, your names, your ages, your having, pleasing, and anything that is fitting to be known, discover.
We are but plain fellows, sir.
A lie, you are rough and hairy. If we have no lying, comes none but tradesmen.
Are you a courtier, and like you, sir?
Whether it's like me or no, I am a courtier. Seest thou not the air of the court in these enfoldings? Hath not my gaiter the measure of the court? And receives not thy nose court odour from me? Reflect I not on thy baseness, court contempt? Dost thou think, because I insinuate or toast from thee thy business, and therefore no courtier? Thy courtier can but pay, and one that rather push on or pluck back thy business there, whereupon I charge thee to open thy affair.
My business, sir, is to the king.
Age, thou hast lost thy labour.
Oh, why, sir?
The king is not at the palace. He has gone aboard a new ship to air himself and purge melancholy. For if thou beest capable of things serious, thou must know the king is full of grief.
So 'tis said, sir, about his son that should have married a shepherd's daughter.
If that shepherd be not in hand fast, let him fly. The tortures he shall have, the curses he shall feel. To break the back of man, the heart of monster.
Think you so, sir?
Some say he shall be stoned, but that death is too soft for him, say I. And his son too, he is to be flayed alive.
No.
Anointed over with honey, set on the head of a wasp's nest, but then left to be 3/4 and a dram den, then revived with aqua vitae or some other hot infusion, and then draws his on the hottest day. Prognostication proclaims is he to be set against a brick wall, the sun looking with a southward eye upon him, whereas to behold him with flies blown to death. What talk we are these traitorly rascals, whose deaths are to be smiled at, their treasons being so capital.
He seems to be of great authority. Close with him, give him gold. And though authority be a stubborn bear, yet he is often led through the nose with gold. Show the inside of the purse, the outside of his hand. Remember, stoned and flayed alive.
And like you, sir, if you will undertake the business for us, here is the gold that I have. Oh, I have as much more, and you may keep my son in pawn till I bring it you.
Give me the moiety. Are you party in this business?
In some sort, sir, though my case be a pitiful one. I hope I shall not be flayed out of it.
Oh, that's the case of the shepherd's son. Hang him, he'll be made to some.
Comfort, good comfort. We muster the king to show us strange sights. He must know we're gone else. Sir, I will give you as much money as the old man does, and this business being performed, I will remain in pawn till it be brought you.
Well, I will trust you. Go before to the seaside, go on the right hand. I will but look upon the hedge and follow you.
Let's before, as he bids us, he was provided to do us good.
I will bring these monks, these blind ones, aboard of the prince my master. If he think it fit to shore them again, and the complaint they have to the king concerns him nothing, let him call me rogue for being so far officious, for I am proof against that title and what else belongs to it. That to him will I present them. There may be matter in it.
Sir, you have done enough, and performed the same blind sorrow. No fault could you make which you have not redeemed. Indeed, paid down more penitence than done trespass. At the last, do as the heavens have done. Forget your evil. With them, forgive yourself.
Whilst I remember her and her virtues, I cannot forget my blemishes in them, and so still think of the wrong I did myself, which was so much that airless it hath made my kingdom, and destroyed the sweetest companion that e'er man bred his hopes out of.
True, too true, my lord. If one by one you wedded all the world, or from the old altar took something good to make a perfect woman, she you killed would be unparalleled.
I think so. Killed. She I killed. I did so, but thou strikest me sorely to say I did. It is as bitter upon thy tongue as in my thoughts. Now, good now, say so but seldom.
Not at all, good lady. You might have spoken 1,000 things that would have done the time more benefit, and graced your kindness better.
You are one of those who would have him wed again.
If you would not so, you pity not the state, nor the remembrance of his most sovereign name. Consider little the dangers of his highness's veil of issue. May drop upon his kingdom and devour in certain lookers on. What more holy than to rejoice the former queen as well? What holier than for royalty's repair, for present comfort and for future good, to bless the bed of majesty again with a sweet fellow to it?
There is none worthy respecting her that's gone. Besides, the gods will have fulfilled their secret purposes. For has not the divine Apollo said, is not the tenor of his oracle, that King Leontes shall not have an heir till his lost child be found? 'Tis your counsel, my lordship, to the heavens be contrary, oppose against their wills. Care not for issue, the crown will find an heir.
Good Paulina, who hast the memory of Hermione, I know in honour. Oh, that ever I had squared me to thy counsel. Then, even now, I might have looked upon my queen's full eyes, have taken treasure from her lips.
And left them all rich for what they yielded.
Thou speakst truth. I'll have no wife, Paulina.
Will you swear never to marry, but by my free leave?
Never, Paulina, so be blessed my spirit.
Then, good my lord, bear witness to his oath.
You tempt him overmuch.
Unless another, as like Hermione as is her picture, affront his eye.
Good madam.
I have done. Yes, if my lord will marry. If you will, sir. No remedy but you will. Give me the office to choose you a queen. She shall not be so young as was your former, but she shall be such as walked your first queen's ghost. It should take joy to see her in your arms.
My true Paulina, we shall not marry till thou bidst us.
That shall be when your first queen's again in breath, never till then.
One that gives out to himself Prince Florizel, son of Polixenes, with his princess, fairest I've yet beheld, desires access to your high presence.
What with him? He comes not like to his father's greatness. His approach, so out of circumstance and sudden, tells us 'tis not a visitation framed, but forced by need and accident. What trade?
But few and those but me.
His princess, say you, with him?
I, the most peerless piece of earth, I think, will ere the sun shines light.
Go, Cleomenes, bring them to our embracement. Still, 'tis strange he thus should steal upon us.
Had our prince, jewel of children, seen this hour, he had paired well with this lord. There was not full a month between their births.
Prithee, no more, cease. Thou knowest he dies to me again when talked of. Sure, when I shall see this gentleman, thy speeches will bring me to consider that which may unfurnish me of reason. They are come. Your mother was most true to wedlock, prince, for she did print your royal father off, conceiving you. Were I but 21, your father's image is so hitting you, his very heir, that I should call you brother, as I did him, and speak of something wildly by us performed before. Most dearly welcome. And your fair princess, goddess. Oh, alas, I lost a couple that twixt heaven and earth might thus have stood, begetting wonder as you, gracious couple, do. And then I lost all mine own folly, the society, amity too of your brave father, whom, though bearing misery, I desire my life once more to look on him.
By his command have I here touched Sicilia, and from him bring you all the greetings that a king, that friend, can send his brother. And had that infirmity which waits upon worn times hath something seized his wished ability, he had himself the lands and waters twixt your throne and his, measured to look upon you, whom he loves. He bade me say so, more than all the sceptres and those that bear them live.
Oh, my brother, good gentleman, the wrongs I have done thee stir afresh within me, and these thy offices, so rarely kind, are as interpreters of my behindhand slackness. Welcome hither, as is the spring to the earth, and hath he too exposed this paragon to the fearful usage, at least ungentle, of the dreadful Neptune, to greet a man not worth her pains, much less the adventure of her person.
Good my lord, she came from Libya,
where the warlike Smalus, that noble honoured lord, is feared and loved.
Most royal sir, from thence, from him whose daughter his tears proclaimed his, parting with her. Thence, a prosperous southwind friendly we have crossed, to execute the charge my father gave me for visiting your highness. My best train I have from your Sicilian shores dismissed. who for Bohemia bend to signify not only my success in Libya, sir, but my arrival and my wife's in safety here where we are.
The blessed gods purge all infection from our air whilst you do climate here. You have a holy father, a graceful gentleman, against whose person, so noble as it is, I have done sin, for which the heavens, taking angry note, have left me issueless, and your father's blessed, as he from heaven merits it, with you, worthy his goodness. What might I have been? Might I, as son and daughter, now have looked on such goodly things as you?
Most noble sir, that which I shall report will receive no credit, were not the proof so now reached you from himself by me. Desires you to attach his son, who has his dignity and duty both thrown off, fled from his father, from his hopes, and with a shepherd's daughter.
Where's Bohemia? Speak.
Here in your city. I came from him now. I speak amazingly, and it becomes my marvel and my message. To your city, whilst he was hastening, in the pursuit, it seems, of this fair couple, meets he on the way the father of this seeming lady and her brother, having both their country quitted with this young prince.
Camillo has betrayed me, whose honour and whose honesty till now endured all weathers.
Lay it so to his charge. He's with the king, your father.
Who? Camillo?
Camillo, sir. I now spake with him, who has these poor men in question. Never saw I wretches so quake. They kneel, they kiss the earth, forswear themselves as often as they speak. Bohemia stops his ears and threatens them with divers deaths in death.
Oh, my poor father! The heaven has set spies on us. We'll not have our contract celebrated.
You are married?
We are not, sir, nor are we like to be. The stars I see will kiss the valleys first, the odds for high and lows alike.
My lord, is this the daughter of a king?
She is! Once she is my wife.
That once, I see by your good father's speed, will come on very slowly. I am sorry, most sorry you have broken from his liking, where you were tied in duty. And as sorry, your choice is not so rich in work as beauty, that you might well enjoy her.
Dear, look up. Though fortune, visible and enemy, should chase us with my father, power no jot hath she to change our loves. Beseech you, sir, remember since you owe no more to time than I do now. With thought of such affections, step forth mine advocate. At your requests my father will grant precious things as trifles.
Would he do so, I beg your precious mistress, which he counts but a trifle.
Sir, my liege, your eye hath too much youth in't. Not a month before your queen died, she was more worth such gazes than what you look on now.
I thought of her, even in these looks I made. But your petition is yet unanswered. I will to your father, your honour not overthrown by your desires, I am friend to them and you, upon which errand I now go towards him. Therefore follow me, and mark what way I make. Come, good my lord.
I was by at the opening of the fardel, heard the old shepherd relate the manner how he found it, whereupon, after a little amazedness, we were all commanded out of the chamber. But this methought I heard the shepherd say, he found the child.
I would most gladly know the issue of it.
Well, here comes a gentleman who may haply know more. My lord, the news.
Nothing but bonfires. The oracle has been fulfilled, the king's daughter has been found. Such a deal of wonder has broken out within this hour that ballad makers cannot be able to express it.
Have you returned to the court?
No, the princess, hearing of her mother's statue, which is in the keeping of Paulina, a piece performed by that rare Italian master, Giulio Romano, who could put breath into his work. So near to Hermione, he hath done Hermione. They say that one would go up and speak to her and stand in hope of answer. Thither they are gone, and there they intend to sup.
I thought she had some great enterprise there in mind, for she hath privately, twice or thrice a day, ever since the death of Hermione, visited that removed house. Shall we thither, and with our company, peace the rejoicing?
Let's along.
Now, would you prefer it would drop on my head, yet all along?
O grave and good Paulina, the great comfort that I have had of thee.
What, sovereign sir, I did not well, I meant well. All my services you have paid home. But that you vouchsafe with your crowned brother, and these your contracted heirs of your kingdom, my poor house to visit, is as a surplus of your grace, that never my life may last to answer.
O Paulina, we honour you with trouble, but we came to see the statue of our queen. Your gallery have we passed through, not without much content in many singularities, but we saw not that which my daughter came to look upon, the statue of her mother.
As she lived peerless, so her dead likeness, I do well believe, excels whatever yet you looked upon, or hand of man hath done. Therefore I keep it lonely, apart. But here it is. Prepare to see the life as lively mocked as ever still sleep mocked death. Behold, and say it is well. I like your silence. It the more shows off your wonder. But yet speak. First you, my liege. Comes it not something near?
Her natural posture. Chide me, dear stone, that I may say indeed, thou art Hermione, or rather thou art she, in thy not chiding, for she was as tender as infancy and grace. But yet, Paulina, Hermione was not so much wrinkled, nothing so aged as this seems.
Oh, not by much.
So much the more our carver's excellence, which lets go by some 16 years and makes her as she lived now.
As now she might have done, so much to my good comfort as it is now piercing to my soul. Oh, thus she stood, even with such life of majesty, warm life, as now it coldly stands, when first I wooed her. I am ashamed. Does not the stone rebuke me for being more stone than it? O royal peace, there's magic in thy majesty which has my evils conjured to remembrance, and from thy admiring daughter took the spirits, standing like stone with thee.
Give me leave, and do not say to superstition that I kneel and then implore her blessing. Lady, dear queen, that ended when I but began. Give me that hand of yours to kiss.
Oh, patience. The statue is but newly fixed. The colour's not dry.
My lord, your sorrow was too sore laid on, which 16 winters cannot blow away so many summers dry. Scarce any joy did ever live so long. No sorrow but killed itself much sooner.
Dear my brother, let he who was the cause of this have power to take off so much grief from you, that he will peace up in himself.
Indeed, my lord, if I had thought the sight of my poor image would thus have wrought you, for the stone is mine, I'd not have showed it.
Do not draw the curtain.
No longer shall you gaze on, lest your fancy may think anon it moves.
Let it be, let it be. Would I were dead, but that methinks already. What was he that did make it? See, my lord, would you not deem it breathed, and that those veins did verily bear blood?
Oh, masterly done. The very life seems warm upon her.
The fixture of her eye has motion in't, as we are mocked with art.
I shall draw the curtain. My lord's almost so far transported that he'll think anon it lives.
Oh, sweet Paulina, make me to think so 20 years together. No settled senses of the world can match the pleasure of that madness.
I am sorry, sir, I have thus far stirred you, but I could afflict you further.
Do, Paulina, for this affliction has a taste as sweet as any cordial comfort. Still methinks there is an air comes from her. What fine chisel could ever yet cut breath? Let no man mock me, for I will kiss her.
Good my lord, forbear. The ruddiness upon her lip is wet. You'll mar it if you kiss it, stain your own with oily painting. Shall I draw the curtain?
No, not these 20 years.
So long could I stand by and look her on.
Either forbear, quit presently the chapel, or resolve you for more amazement. You can behold it. I'll make the statue move indeed. Descend and take you by the hand. But then you'll think, which I protest against, I am assisted by wicked powers.
What you can make her do, I am content to look on. What to speak, I am content to hear. For it is as easy to make her speak as move.
It is required you do awake your faith. Then all stand still. Or those that think it is a lawful business I am about, let them depart.
Proceed, no foot shall stir.
Music! Wake her! Strike! 'Tis time. Descend. Be stone no more. Approach. Strike all that look upon with marvel. Come, I'll fill your grave up. Stir, nay, come away. Bequeath to death your numbness, for from him dear life redeems you. You perceive she stirs. Start not. Her action shall be holy, as you hear my spell is lawful. Do not shun her until you see her die again, for then you kill her double. Nay, present your hand. When she was young, you wooed her. Now in age is she become the suitor.
She's warm. If this be magic, let it be an art lawful as eating. She embraces him.
She hangs about his neck. If she pertains to life, let her speak too.
Aye, and let it manifest from where she's lived, or how stolen from the dead.
That she is living, were it but told you, should be hooted at like an old tale. But it appears she lives, though yet she speaks not. Mark a little while. Please you to interpose, fair mother. Kneel, and pray your mother's blessing. Time, good lady. Our purditor is found.
You gods look down, and from your sacred vials pour your graces upon my daughter's head. Tell me, my gnome, where hast thou been preserved?
Where live, how found? Thy father's court. For thou shalt hear that I, knowing by Paulina the oracle gave hope thou wast it being, have preserved myself to see thee issue.
There's time enough for that, lest they desire upon this push to trouble your joys with like relation. Go together, you precious winners all, your exultation partake to everyone. I and old Turtle will wing me to some withered bough, and there my mate that's never to be found again, lament till I'm lost.
Oh, peaceful Lina, thou shouldst a husband take by my consent, as I by thine a wife. This is a match, and made between us by vows. Thou hast found mine, but how is to be questioned? For I saw her, as I thought, dead, and have in vain said many a prayer upon her grave. I'll not seek far, for him I partly know his mind, to find thee an honourable husband. Come, Camillo, and take her by the hand, whose worth and honesty is richly noted, and here justified by us, a pair of kings. Let's from this place. What? Look upon my brother. Both your pardons, that ere I put between your holy looks my ill suspicion. This your son-in-law, and son unto the king, whom heaven's directing is troth plight to your daughter. Good Paulina, lead us from hence, where we may leisurely each one demand an answer to his part, performed in this wide gap of time, since first we were dissevered. Hastily lead away.
So not stupid.